with 64 is 9 in front of McGrath and Jeff Stanton. The 32nd board is up. Wyatt says, so long, good luck. And Jeremy McGrath trying to get into the win column for the first time in 1997. Has the goggles on and is ready to go.
This is when it's all up to the rider. Everyone has to step out of the way. No more communication. All he'll see now is what Wyatt puts on the pit board.
No rider in the history of Supercross has won the title without winning at least one Supercross. Jeremy McGrath with a good start, but it's Jeff Emig with the whole shot. McGrath is second.
McGrath
Jimmy
right
Button is third.
Lusk going down in the first corner.
Along with Rich Taylor, number 30. But out in front is Emig, number 3, with McGrath, number 1, making a quick early move. Jimmy Button, a fantastic performance. They touch back wheels. McGrath getting rough. Jeremy McGrath still back in second place. Jimmy Button's got the inside move and is challenging for the lead. McGrath not giving up. They both hop by Emig. Oh my goodness. Jimmy Button and McGrath bar to bar. Button in first place. Look out for Jeff Albertine. Greg Albertine, I should say, as Jeff Emig is right next to him.
What a great first lap.
Oh, Jimmy Button, our first lap leader. Then it's McGrath. Then, if you can believe it, it's Albertine. And then Jeff Emig. And Lamson is giving Emig. Something's wrong with Emig, I think. Lamson's just passed him.
Well, Emig's just completely out of sync right now. He got the whole shot, thought, okay, business as usual. And all of a sudden, McGrath off the triple. This triple right here tags him right in the rear at that inside. Then guys kept going by, so Emig's just out of his timing right now. We'll see what he's made of if he can carve his way back to the front.
It's bar to bar with Lamson. Lamson now moves into fourth. Lammy in a good position to take on Albertine for third. Jimmy Button is our leader. Jimmy Button has never won a 250 Supercross. He's won several 125ers. But right now, Jeremy McGrath pursues him in second place with his teammate Albertine in third. Lamson, the lone ranger for Team Honda, in fourth. Emig in fifth, and Larry Ward, Honda of Troy, in sixth.
Well, Button out front demonstrated in the heat race that he had the speed to win tonight. The question is, can he maintain that for 20 laps with this kind of pressure?
Jimmy Button had a chance to win here in 1994 in the 125s. He went off the track twice. And had a great comeback year that year, though. Came in second in points to Ezra Lusk.
McGrath all over Button right now, keeping him honest. These two starting to pull away just a little bit from Albertine. Albie getting that extra time in the semi after falling in the heat race. The lapped rider looking good so far.
Oh, it's a great ride for Jimmy Button, considering he's riding with a cracked cartilage in the rib section. Also was found out that the muscles around the heart were bruised. And so he's had to come back from that in the last 4 weeks. And here he is leading a 250 round as Jeremy McGrath not on his back bumper anymore. McGrath taking the inside corner. Albertine holding back Lamson well in third.
Oh, Lamson's off the track.
Lammy down on the ground. Another bad break for Lamson.
You can see the frustration right there, too, knowing he had a great shot at a podium, maybe a victory. Shaking his head.
12th in the first round, 10th in the second round, 9th, 12th, 12th, then 2 sixth-place finishes for Lammy. But now, after that encouraging move, Lamson is fighting from behind, way behind.
It was just starting to look up, and he got crossed up in those, I don't even know what to call it. It's not an easy section, I can tell you that.
Jeremy McGrath is starting now to pull up on Jimmy Button once again. Jeremy McGrath's going to show him a wheel or two here on the inside. Jeremy McGrath, his second lead of the Supercross season.
That was so smart. He'd been getting close to Button every time. Set him up. Button went wide, and Jeremy just went wide. Took the line away.
How long can Jimmy Button stay with Jeremy McGrath now? Let's see if Jeremy, like the Jeremy of old, would now make a move to instantly pull away.
Run and hide. That's the plan. I would expect Jeremy in a 20-lap race, especially on past results, that he should be able to hold off Jimmy Button, not feel too threatened by Button. If Button was able to hold on to second here, I think he'd be happy with that. And Albertine's back on the podium again, in a position to finish on the podium after Daytona. Starting to get the speed he showed in the first round back.
This is the longest that Jeremy has gone without a win since he started in Supercross. Albertine moves past Jimmy Button into second place. Button not willing to give it up too easily. But now, Albertine, a very fine run in Daytona. Can he catch his teammate?
Oh, he definitely can catch Jeremy. He's got speed. Lamson has gone down again in the same section, and he's not moving.
Lamson is down, and he's not moving on the track. We'll take a break right now to check out the action. This crash during the week. Sore. Stiff. Came into this race. Gave it a good go, but now Steve Lamson went down for the count. The yellow flags are out on the stair-step section, which is a difficult section anyway. Wyatt Seals putting the board out for Jeremy McGrath. Zipping by the mechanics area. He has a 3-second lead on his teammate Albertine. Button is still in third. Emig a distant fourth.
Albertine getting all mixed up in that section right there. His foot slipped off the peg right as he entered it. Lost his rhythm, and you can see Button gained quite a bit of time.
Emig is 7 seconds in back of the leader. Let's go down to Davey Combs.
Wyatt, we saw you tell Jeremy to run and hide, but do you know that Jeff Emig is 7 seconds behind and starting to move up?
Yeah, I mean, you got to count on Jeff coming up. He got a little rough start there and got banged around a little bit, but you got to count on him being there, and oh, he will at the finish. So he's got to get away from him and put as much ground on him, between himself and Jeff as he can.
What about Albertine? Are you comfortable with Albie being second?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it. I think Jeremy is too. I don't think Albie's going to do anything, to jeopardize either one of them.
You saw on our screen Lammy walking off. That's a good sign. Here's Jeff Emig in fourth place. Now, Jeremy McGrath has led one Supercross race this year. That was in Phoenix before 63,000 fans. Lamson, I'm still not sure if he knows he's in Minneapolis. Here's Larry Ward making a move on Jeff Emig. This would be a definite attack on the point situation.
Ward could definitely steal away some points and help Jeremy and Albertine, for that matter, pick it up. You can see Ward running into the back of Emig. His long legs able to recover.
The one big difference between this race when Jeremy won, or I should say was leading in Phoenix, and the race right now that Jeremy is leading is, number one, he's got his teammate Greg Albertine behind him in second, and number two, Jeff Emig was in second in the last race and just took advantage of a brain fade, with McGrath going down and Emig cruising on to victory. So it's a total different situation here at the Metrodome in Minneapolis.
Well, Jeremy was just starting to get that lead. I think at that point he was really rushing things, wanting to pick up that win. Now I think since then he's learned a lot about patience, trying to be consistent, let the race come to him. That's what he did last year a number of times. Ryan and Emig taking each other out in Houston was one I can recall. So Jeremy with his teammate in second, got to be feeling pretty relaxed out there.
Larry Ward still in the back bumper of Jeff Emig. Jeremy Albrecht, Emig's mechanic, trying to give him the fist, giving some encouragement to get up through the pack. Let's go to Davey.
Jeremy, you got half of the race left. You got 10 laps. Can you go after those guys?
Better. Actually, yeah. He had a little bobble at the beginning, shot again. And it looked like he made a mistake, which he's making a few here and there, and you can't really make mistakes right now. So, I don't know. You never know. Things could happen up front and be a closer race.
You know he's going to be in better strength than Button is, the third place rider, but what about first and second?
Well, usually first and second way a little bit, but it's still long. There's a lot to go, so I'm just hoping it goes our way.
Back to the action of the 250s. Jeremy McGrath, our leader. Could this be his very first win of the 1997 season?
Some of the hard chargers from behind. Henry LaRocco just not too far behind Emig and Ward, starting to enter the picture now.
Jeremy McGrath hasn't put Suzuki in the win column yet this year, but he's been an instant boost to Roger DeCoster's program, and not just in getting cooperation from the factory.
Yeah, I think Suzuki is really happy. I mean, they've been really patient with me, which is excellent. I mean, I've struggled a little here and there, but I mean, I think with me moving to the team, it elevated the other riders, and they felt that like they were a part of something, which is not saying that I brought all this to them, but you know, it's a different attitude around there. Like our team, we feel like our team is, you know, #1 team out there, and I think the other guys feel that too. So I think that helps for sure with the result.
Jeremy's had a lot of rides this year which were as good enough to be a victory, but the start wasn't there for him. Everything didn't come all together, and so far tonight, all those pieces of the puzzle are there, and he's got a great big lead now.
Henry in 6th spot. He's trying to chase Larry Ward right now. Well, back to McGrath. He has more podiums, more top 3 finishes than anyone this year, and that's what's kept him close in the points race. 5 podium appearances, despite getting used to a new bike, despite having to build a bike so quickly in the very beginning.
Well, I thought this guy was terrific last year. It was a great shot of looking down at the racetrack. You can't tell how much air they get off that triple, but you can see Jeremy there going wide in that corner. That's where he took over the lead from Button. It's a faster line to go wide, but to make that pass, he had to cut across the inside and take the line away, and it worked perfect.
Oh, the great shot from our Skycam here in the Metrodome.
Over the other triple, we'll stop for that inside rut. Into the off-camber zigzag. You see how deep that's getting. Wyatt telling him before the race, keep your foot out of that.
Already lapping Brian Swink. The Honda stopwatch is out. We might get some indication here as to his lead. About 5 seconds on Albertine in 2nd place. Here comes Button in 3rd place. And about 10 seconds on Emig. A lot of time to make up and not many laps left.
Well, Jeremy's picked up time on Emig, but Emig has picked up a lot of time on Button for that podium spot.
He must like this track in Minneapolis. I mean, it's different in configuration every year, but Jeremy McGrath last year lapped every rider up to 5th place.
We may do that again tonight. He's going to get up there close. Pulling away more each lap. Through that off camber one more time. And these are the kind of races where even when you're winning, you get a little bit bored out there because it's the same thing lap after lap. Not much of a challenge after that wild first lap. The distance has stayed about the same back to Albertine. And you see the ruts starting to develop in that whoop section, making it even tougher.
Emig has got to make a great effort against Jimmy Button right now as he's approaching his back bumper. But Emig, points-wise, can't stand to have a difference like we saw in Daytona. When he took over the points lead, Henry was back in 10th. Emig won the race and jumped up in front in the points lead. Now with Jeremy McGrath out in front, it's very important that Emig pass Button and get as many points as he can.
Well, that's the corner where Jeremy did it. If he can stay close enough, unless he gets Button before that, he should be able to make that pass if Button leaves the door open. These guys' rhythm is nowhere near what Jeremy's got out front. You see him hopping over that stair step and off of it with a little bit slower timing.
You know, David, ever since Jeremy banged his wheel a little bit getting by him in the early part of the race, Jeff has been discombobulated.
Well, it's weird. Jeff has gotten a lot of hole shots, and when you get one, you think, well, that's that. I'll just continue to do what I've done the past few weeks, and then all of a sudden you get all that pressure, and you got guys coming around you on both sides, running to the back of you. It really messes you up, takes you out of your timing, and it worked. Jeremy's doing just what he did last year, just attacking in the first, not even the first lap, the first few corners really paid off.
7-second lead on Albertine in 2nd place. A couple of more seconds back to Jimmy Button and Jeff Emig. Larry Ward is right behind Emig, and Henry is behind Ward. It's been a freight train effect with Craig in back of Henry.
Henry's the one closing fast. He's got 3 guys right ahead of him. Valuable points for this title.
Let's check out the condition of Lamson. Davey.
Okay, I just saw Steve Lamson go out through the tunnel. He went with Wes McCoy's team manager. He was holding his arm. I didn't see his crash, but it didn't look like anything was broke still. We go take him back to the EMS, get a little medical checkup, and see what happens.
Here comes Larry Ward on Jeff Emig. We've got 3 laps to go. Larry Ward trying to make a move on the points leader. Ward, Honda of Troy, number 6, a great leaping jump, but he can't get the swing and the momentum out of the berm.
Well, now Jeff finds himself in the points lead.
Here's Henry making a move on Emig.
How much pressure that is every week. If he lets these 2 guys get by him, look at Jeff coming up short on that triple. That's all.
Henry! And Emig comes fighting back. A 3-way bike battle. Oh, my goodness.
Look at Emig. Comes out of that smelling like a rose. It looked like he was going to get passed by both Henry and Ward. Looks like Henry put a lot of pressure on Ward still. Almost got by.
It's a battle for fourth instead of battle for third. Henry getting by Ward. Emig in fourth behind Button.
That'll be 4 more points if Emig drops these 2 spots that he's going to put in the pocket of McGrath.
You know, it's just as important for Henry to get out in front of Emig, and he knows it. He's coming off a very sore arm. Henry leaping over Jeff Emig. Emig trying to hop back into the action. Bar to bar, they scrape bodies.
Emig just will not give up. It looked like that was it. Henry made the move, and look what happened to Henry. He went all the way around Emig. Now he lost both positions. Larry Ward sneaking in there.
McGrath, Albertine, Button, Emig, and Ward are top 5. And what a battle for 4th and 5th.
This is what Emig may look back on when this season's over with. This battle right here, these valuable points. Larry Ward just relentless here in the end of the race. Typically, this is where he starts to fade just a little and settle for what he put together in the early part of the race.
Well, we got a lapper now as they have to go around it. And it's to Jeff Emig's advantage so far, but Henry just hanging right with him. They're coming up on number 13, Brian Swink. We told you how long ago. It's just the white flag, the last lap for Jeremy McGrath. Could it be his 44th career victory here tonight?
He stretched that lead a little bit more over his teammate. This is the battle, though.
Larry Ward trying to make up time on it, and the flashbulbs are popping as Jeremy McGrath can feel it. Not very far to go yet. The difficult step up, step down. Here's Emig and Henry.
This is where Henry's been able to make his pass. See if he can do it again.
Button still in third. Henry flips in there. Emig tries to take his line away. Henry has to hesitate. Bar to bar. Henry pops in front. He's in fourth on Emig. Next target right now will be Jimmy Button. And here's the checkered flag. Jeremy McGrath, his 44th career Supercross win, his first of 97. He said it was coming. The last 3 races he felt it. But here tonight, a very, very happy Jeremy McGrath. And Albertine, his teammate, hugging Jeremy McGrath. Jimmy Button with his best performance of his career.
When was the last time you saw all top 3 guys that happy? Usually it's the winner's the happy guy, but Albertine stoked to finish behind his teammate who picks up his first win on a Suzuki, and what a great ride for Button, hanging in there for third.
Look at that camaraderie. And Jeremy McGrath has told us that he feels that coming over to Suzuki not only has helped in the development of the machine, but also has risen everyone up to a new level. And he doesn't say that with a lot of conceit.
Well, it's obvious that when you got a rider of Jeremy's caliber on your team, you just go down to the pits. In fact, at the first race at LA, just to try to get near the Suzuki semi was about impossible. It's been like that ever since. Jeremy's a little bit of an underdog, and that sounds funny to say, but having not won a race this season, everyone's really rooting for him to win. Or last season, this may have been some boos because he was winning all the time. So what an amazing change of events to switch over to Suzuki, all the obstacles he had to overcome, and to pull off his first win here where he's never lost. It's got to be a really special feeling for him.
94, 95, 96, and now 97, his 4th win in a row here in the Metrodome. McGrath equaling a record he's also set before at other venues. But Jeff Ward, 4-time winner in Houston. Stanton, 4 straight victories at Daytona. McGrath adds another 4 straight victories here in Minneapolis. Okay, Davey will be grabbing onto a very excited Jeremy McGrath. There's Roger DeCoster and Wyatt Seals congratulating him. A look at the top 10 finishes in the 250 points race when we return.